Hello Power Rangers Lightning Collection fans, and welcome back to Lightning Storm. This series where lightning always strikes twice as we talk about everything that has happened in the past week for the Power Rangers Lightning Collection. So, finally, back to a Saturday episode. I know it's been a little bit. I was not feeling well whatsoever last weekend, so that's why there wasn't one on Saturday, and also because we had a very busy week already with the Cobra Kai figures and with 1027, so I figured there wasn't really much of a point, but now there is a point. There's actually some stuff to talk about here. So I'm also recording this on Thursday night when I usually would record it on Friday night because I'm still filming my college thesis project the day before you're seeing this. So I'm recording it a little earlier than usual. So hopefully nothing happens tomorrow, being Friday, which is yesterday for you, that I need to add in at the last minute. I don't know. We'll see. Let's go ahead and just jump right on into this. So first up for this week, we have some updates from 1027. So obviously, as we talked about during the big lightning storm on the night that it happened, 1027's big reveals, or really only reveals, was Deluxe Wave 3 of Blue Centurion from Turbo and In Space Silver with the Silver Cycle from In Space. Now, we really don't have much at all to talk about with those, other than the fact that we kind of got a little bit of a better look at, I guess, technically both of them from some people involved with them. And I always think it's cool to kind of promote when these are a thing, whenever we get kind of stuff like this. So first of all, for the Blue Centurion, we have some really awesome sculpting images from Dennis, always bumping on Twitter, who had already confirmed on 1027 the actual night that he did Blue Centurion by posting a reference image that he had from Car Ranger, which was really, really cool. And then the next day, being last Friday the 28th, he actually showed us some actual renders of the sculpting process and how he did like such really cool pieces and like an all new sculpt, and how basically the only thing he didn't do was some of the translucent plastic on like the sirens that are all over Blue Centurion. I guess that was something that was added later on, but he did a phenomenal job. Blue Centurion seriously is like already probably one of my top 5 favorite Lightning Collection figures just based off of the pre-order images alone, and I cannot wait to get this figure when it releases in early 2023. It looks phenomenal. And then we also got to see some nice pictures of his wave mate in Space Silver with the Silver Cycle, thanks to Justin Nemo, who actually got to reveal it during the 1027 event. Basically, Justin Nemo posted some more close-up shots of the prototype of it, I assume it's a prototype, but it does seem like Hasbro let him keep it from just kind of the impression I'm getting from his social media posts, so maybe it's not a prototype, or maybe it's just a really far enough along one. But he posted some really nice shots of it on his Facebook page that does seem to confirm that the visor is, at least on this one, unless I hope that this is actually the case, that it's actually more how it's supposed to be. And what I mean by that is that there's some weird promo shots of this thing that make it look like it has a very strange looking visor compared to what was, at least in my opinion, a perfect sculpt on it from the Walgreens version from 2021, but there was just like this weird squished visor. It's very strange. The box render almost looks like he has In Space Red's visor, and the one we saw on the stream and some of the other promo shots, it looks like the visor is just the same as the Walgreens one. It's just the same helmet, and these Justin Emo pictures seem to point to that as well, I think. Hopefully. So hopefully this final version actually does have the helmet that it should be, and they didn't. Like I said, there's no reason for them to have changed it. I always thought it was already perfectly fine how it was from that original release, but whatever. And then also building off of that, we do get to see a little bit of the new Zane head, which kind of, the more I look at it, it kind of looks more like it is maybe the older sculpt, or it's like a similar to the older sculpt or something, I don't even know, but basically with it, just kind of cool to see these kind of more zoomed in shots. I still think it's really cool that Hasbro let Justin Nemo reveal his own figure. I don't know if just because maybe that's kind of their way of making up for the whole fiasco that was In Space Silver from 2021 or what, but if we could get more Ranger actors revealing their own figures, which has now only happened twice. Russell Curry got to reveal Zato's figure at Hasbro PulseCon 2021, and now Justin Nemo here at 1027 2022. So really, really cool, and I'm looking forward to Deluxe Wave 3 when it releases in early 2023. So next up for this week, we have some stuff shipping out and in stock at different places. So this happened a while ago, and it would have been in a last Saturday episode of Lightning Storm if I had made one, but Big Bad Toy Store does have the Zord Ascension Project Dragon Zord in stock, and I think a couple of other places are slowly getting it in stock as well. So, we knew it was kind of coming to the US here pretty soon. But Big Bad Toy Store, we had also talked about, they were sending out those emails of shipping soon for Ryu and Chun-Li, the morphed versions of them for the Street Fighter collaboration, which were already originally listed for January 1st, 2023 releases. But no, they absolutely shipped out. We have a lot of people who have received them and have like taken pictures of them. I love the like interior like wrapping that they're in, the tissue paper that they're covered in. It's that same design from the outside of the box, which I think is really, really nice. I do like that a lot. I think these figures look really cool. These two, the other two, still don't look good, but I'm impressed with how these ones turned out, and I'm hoping that I can get mine sometime soon. But there's already some really nice pictures out there from like Sentai 5 on Twitter. There's also some really good reviews out there already on YouTube that I'm going to be linking in the description below if you want to check those out. I love how these turned out, and I cannot wait to get them. And speaking of figures that have already released a little, I guess, early or have been releasing now, and in this case I actually do have it. It's there in the background, which at the time of this video, that video review should have gone up yesterday, and there should be a card popping up of it somewhere. But the Color Swap 2-pack started shipping out from Hasbro Pulse. It shipped out of like Tuesday of this week. It actually arrived really, really quickly, a lot quicker than I was expecting for it to have arrived. It still hasn't shipped out from GameStop, although some people on Facebook were claiming that they actually did find it at a GameStop, so you might be able to find it there a little earlier, but it's still listed for like a late November, early December release on GameStop. But Hasbro Pulse has it now and in stock, and there'll be a link in the description below if you want to pick that one up. Our first plastic-free packaging figure release alongside these Street Fighter ones, basically here at the same time. And then our final main story of the week is Wave 12 finally out in the US, I think. So it looks like it might finally be time for Wave 12 to make its way over here, months after it released in China and Malaysia. I think maybe has it at this point. I don't even remember anymore. Wave 12 has been very, very weird about where it is, what's going on. It's still listed for a March 2023 pre-order at most places, but so is Wave 13. And Wave 12 and 13 are not going to release on the same day. Wave 12 absolutely should be the main wave in stores by the end of 2022. It should have been out a lot earlier than now anyway, but hey, whatever. At least if we could finally get it, it would be great. However, there's some eBay listings and Mercari listings that are starting to pop up for Wave 12 that are US based. Now this does seem to imply, and one of them was from like a US like local, like a like a smaller chain store, not even a chain store, but like a small comic shop or something, which does happen a lot, to where these kind of smaller specialty stores can get some of this stuff earlier than like the big box retailers. It does happen. It has happened a lot. It happened like last year with like In Space Pink and the retail version of Pudgy Pig. It happened there. I think it's even happened earlier this year with some of the roleplay stuff and everything. So that's not super surprising that they would kind of be the first group of people to get Wave 12 in the US. But nobody, like I said, as far as I know, has like gone into a Walmart or a Target and spotted them yet. But I would not be surprised if now that these are starting to trickle out from these kind of stores and are showing up on eBay and Mercari for like $65 a figure, because that's how this always goes. When they're first found, people will sell them for ridiculous prices that you should not pay. But basically from there, hopefully soon, we'll start seeing this wave in stores more readily available. Well, that didn't take long. While I was editing this episode, Wave 12 was spotted in the US at Walmart in Arizona. I think it was actually Phoenix, Arizona. I'll be putting that up on screen here so you guys can see that. But yeah, Wave 12 has been found in a retailer, like a big box retailer in the US, much earlier than its original March 2023 release date, so it might be time to finally start hunting for the newest Wave of Lightning collection for the first time in 9 months. Perfect time for the holidays, that's for sure. It's right around that time frame that hopefully, I don't know if there's like an actual like conscious effort to try to get them out by that time. It'd be nice if it did. But basically, yeah, finally, it looks like Wave 12 might finally be releasing here pretty soon. And I would not be surprised, especially with like some of these release dates have been going for like Marvel figures and stuff like that for like waves. I would not be surprised if like online retailers start going, hey, Wave 12 is here. Like Big Bad Toy Store would do that, Entertainment Earth would do that, maybe even Amazon would do that. So I would not be surprised if by like the end of November we start seeing that happen for this wave, so we can finally move on, I guess, from the end of Tom Whalen's packaging era, which is actually pretty sad when I say that, but this is the end. This is the final batch of figures that I will receive, at least, in terms of like getting everything Lightning collection for his artwork on it, which is really sad actually, but the end of an era here with Wave 12, and it finally starts releasing more readily in the US, hopefully soon. Finally, for this week, I wanted to do a really quick lightning strike of the week here, to take a look at this. Look at this amazing, really, really awesome custom fan box art for a hypothetical Diabolico figure. I love how this turned out. So this was on Instagram by Esteban Govez, and like, wow, This is really, really cool. So I don't think I had seen this Instagram account before, but I was scrolling through, and like this guy has made tons and tons of mock-ups for like what like certain monsters would look like in the Tom Whalen style if they ever made figures of them. And this is really, really talented work here. So this was like the first example of like a fan art for like a package free or plastic free packaging kind of thing, if they were ever to do like a Diabolical figure. And honestly, it looks a lot nicer than like the actual plastic free packaging we got. It's, you know, he made up like this like render, which where like the lightning bolt would be like this carve out in the tray that you'd be able to like touch the figure, I guess, but at least still be able to see it in its box. Oh, I love it. It's so good. So I'm going to be leaving a link to that Instagram page in the description below, so you can check out all the amazing fan art that's been done on there for the old packaging style and now the new one, because it is really, really incredible work. Alright, and with that is everything we have to talk about this week for the Power Rangers Lightning Collection. Now, if you've made it to the end, I said I'm not going to cover this stuff on the show, and it's still pretty much true. But I figured it would be really weird if I didn't address a pretty big thing that did happen this past week for the Lightning Collection, but I'm going to mention it here at the very end. It's not even going to get its own special title card, because I still despise this thing. But the NFT Megazord has released. It is out. So the NFT Megazord from a year ago has started to ship out. It seems like everybody who got theirs got it like the same day. And it's going on eBay already about exactly how you would expect for a Megazord that there's only about 1,200 of. So, yeah. I hate it still, but there's that. Toe Collectibles did post this nice picture of all 3 Zap boxes together, because I guess that they bought into this nonsense to at least have one in their collection, which I get that. I totally understand that mentality of, you know, wanting to have it for a limited item sake and everything like that. I'm sure Toe Collectibles isn't selling it. I'm sure that Marcus isn't doing that. But still, it's really, really pretty looking. I still love the color scheme of this thing, but I just absolutely despise still the whole NFT, everything connected to it. But, you know, 13 months after that initial nonsense occurred, it was supposed to ship August 2022. It got delayed to November 2022, and now here it is. And yeah, like I said, it's going up on eBay for about exactly what you'd expect. And it's complete nonsense. But until next time, you guys can follow me on Twitter at LivingRangerKey or at LightningFigPR. And of course, let me know down in the comments below about anything I talked about this week. You know, I love to read what you guys have to say. And I'll see you all in Lightning Storm. The series for Lightning always strikes twice.